welcome to the Guitar Show. This is our 30-day guitar challenge. I hope you are all doing well. I'm doing fantastic. I couldn't be doing better. I'm having so much fun. And we are going to have a blast today. You know why? Here's why. Because literally the way that I'm going to show you how to play chords today is, first off, for beginners, is going to be the way that you want to learn chords. You want to learn what I call the 9 essential chords, which are literally the chords that are absolutely going to get you through thousands and thousands of songs, especially if you know how to use that capo. And then for you intermediate and advanced players, we're going to talk about the cage system. If you don't know what this is, friends, absolutely is going to blow your mind in understanding how to play the chords all across the neck, major and minor chords. You can even do this for 7th chords and so on. But this standard, it's a standard that guitar players use, that all the pros use, and I'm going to show you how to do this today. All right, we're going to have a blast. As per usual, this is how it's going to go. We go live for 2 hours every single day in the month of April here for our 30-day guitar challenge, because it takes 21 to 30 days to create a habit, right? And so I'm walking you through the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard, which I'm giving you for free today. It's the second link below. You should have already clicked the first link below, which would give you access to our syllabus, and in this case here, all the beginner lessons and all the advanced lessons, step by step, day by day. Every lesson in here I'm giving you for free. These are advanced lessons. Those are for UGS Pro members. All of these are for free for you today in the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. It's the second link below. So 2 things you should do is get this PDF, and then after the program here, go get Unstoppable Guitar System Standard, okay? Okay, now, we're going to get into the lesson here. We're going to talk about 9 essential chords. But friends, if you would, take a moment here and please like this video. If you've done it already, don't worry about it. Don't do it again. You'll negate the last one. But when you like a video of mine, basically what you're doing is you're sending that out into internet land and you're saying, hey, I like this guy, and it helps me. It helps me so that I can create more videos, because if more people are watching this, then I get to continue to do this and create better courses and bring more instructors in and do live every single day, that sort of thing, because actually it's my job, like it is with you. Whatever your job is, I get to do it every day and provide more content for you. So if you would like it, that would be so helpful. If you even go beyond that, if you've not subscribed already, yes, please subscribe, of course, if you like these videos. And then, of course, sharing this. Because of your shares yesterday, we went above the 700 person mark. I think we were at like 700 and, I don't know, 720 something or another viewers simultaneous, which is pretty awesome, concurrent viewers. I think at the end of the day, we had like 6,000 views or something like that, but nonetheless, the concurrent views are pretty cool, because it means that we can reach a lot of folks all at once. So thank you in advance for doing that, okay? Also, yes, I'm going to be getting to your questions here too. So what I like to do first is get to a lesson, and then I get into your questions. So the first hour is going to be beginner, and the second hour from 12 to 1 is the advanced lesson, but I do get to all sorts of questions too afterwards. Okay? Awesome. Anything else? Oh yes, the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that's how you're going to chat. You can chat right down there, and I'll answer your questions. And then also, if you want to donate, there's a little US dollar symbol there, and if you click on that, you can donate. You'll find folks doing that throughout the program. So thank you so much for being here. Let's dig in. You ready to do this? Let's go. Okay, so first, the very first thing that I'm looking at right now is this. You can either take a picture of the screen if you're like, nope, I don't want a free course, Eric, that's absolutely going to change my guitar playing. So I'm just going to take a picture of the screen, Eric. I don't want your finely crafted PDF by Mike B here in my crew. I don't want that. I don't want all the other nice PDFs and all the other step-by-step videos that will assure that I'll never fail at guitar. Nope, I'm just going to take a picture of the screen, okay? There you go. Take a picture of that. And okay, but for those of you that know where to get this, you're in business. Now, I want you to look at something really quickly here. Notice there's an E minor, an E, A minor, C, G, D minor, A, B7, and D, G, okay? I call these the 9 essential chords because if you're playing in the key of G or you're playing in the key of C, they share much of the same chords. They're the easiest 2 keys to play in. Yes, there's plenty of chords that we could have put in here. Remember though, friends, Pareto's rule. 20% of you learn the right 20% of things, you can do 80% of the job. So yes, there's other chords I could have put in here, but then it's not the 9 essential chords, then it's the 10 or the 30 or the 40. We want to keep just the simple stuff. There's a reason that I do this, okay? And until you get the vibe of how I do things, you either just have to trust me or go, I don't trust this guy, and you're going to move on. That's fine. Whatever you want to do, I'm here for you, but you just got to trust me. These 9 essential chords are this way because I've taught them thousands and thousands of times, and I've found out that number one, they're the easiest chords to play, and they're the chords that work really well together for the most part, okay? This isn't a perfect science. It's just what's best, what's easiest, okay? So if you know how to use these and you know how to use your capo, you're in great shape. So let's talk about this today. These shapes, okay? We're going to go over this really quickly because I have the whole video for you in UGS Standard, okay? And I don't want to waste your time when you can just go straight there. I want to get to your questions, right? Let's turn this down a little. Okay, and so this is how I remember this. The first chord that I teach all my students is the E minor chord. You can see that right there, right? It's just fingers 2 and 3. Some people use fingers 1 and 2. You can do that, but as soon as you play an E major, now you got to play it with fingers 2 and 3 because you got this first finger here. You got to free it up. So you might as well just play it the way that I teach you because there's a reason. E minor. And use association here to remember these. Look, E minor. Boom, right? E major is just adding that first finger on the first fret of the 3rd string. Now if you take that shape and you move it down 1 string, everybody goes down 1 string, that's actually 3 chords now. Now you have the A minor. If you want to make this major, you're just going to put the pinky there instead of the first finger. I'm going over this fast, I understand, because I've got it in detail for you in the course, okay? 2 other chords I want you to know. So E minor, E major, A minor, or let's just say E minor, E, A minor, A, D minor, D, G, C, and B7. B7 is probably going to be the toughest one for you, but you'll get it, okay? You'll get it in time. Now, here's the deal. In the key of C, these are the chords that would work. Write this down, okay? In the key of C, the C would work, the D minor, the A minor, the E minor, and the G, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chords that you could play in the key of C. Super easy. They're the easiest chords you could play. Many hit songs only have 3 chords in it, 3 to 4 chords. So the fact that you have 5 chords out of the key of C that you could play right away, that's a big win, okay? Because you can literally play thousands of songs if you move that capo up and down, because now you can use those same chords in all these different keys. Because it's, I should say, the same shape, because you put that in one shape, you're moving the capo up, you're in a different key, but you got the same shape. You don't have to relearn it 12 different times. What? Yes. For those of you that know this already, your mind was blown a few months or a few years ago, so not much of a mind blow right now. But for those that are just getting this, that's gigantic, because now you just cut down what you needed to learn by 12, okay? Trust me, there's plenty of hard stuff on the guitar, okay? So don't be like, oh, I wanted this to be challenging. It'll be plenty challenging for you. Trust me. Get inside UGS Pro, and you're going to be plenty challenged. But let's make it easy at first so that we can assure that we have success. Let's make it easy, okay? So now if we're in the key of G, here are the ones that work. Write this down. G major, A minor, B7, C, D, and E minor. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this case, you have 6 chords that work, okay? Now, and if you follow my videos on chord borrowing and stuff like that, you can even throw some other chords from the 9 essential in there, okay? All right, so I want to get straight to the questions because anybody who's stuck on this just means they haven't gone through the beginner section of UGS first, and you got to do that. You got to do that. The reason that I say it 10 million times in a broadcast is because you got to do it. We have new people all the time, or we have people that really just want to skip that stuff and go straight to the advanced stuff. And you and I know that there is no skipping stuff and getting it at the same time. You can skip it, but you're going to miss it, okay? Kids that go into grade school and they skip a grade, they didn't get to do that grade, they just skipped it. Maybe they're smart enough to advance to another class or whatever, but they still didn't get all the experiences that they would experience during that year. I'm not saying hold them back, I'm just saying you just don't get to skip it and experience it at the same time. Sorry, we don't live in such a universe that I'm aware of. Okay, now, those are the 9 essential chords. Learn those. There's a reason. You'll learn it later on as to why it is that those are the 9 essential chords and why it is that they're so important. And if you learn how to use your capo, you're going to be rocking on this thing, okay? All right, let's get into some questions. And friends, if you would, on these questions, all caps. I know traditionally that's yelling, but in this case here, it's not. Yesterday we had 700 folks in here and the chat was going pretty quickly. So if I see all caps and a question mark, then I can get to your question. Gene's saying, is there a way to add the B7 to your 12-bar blues PDF? So I wouldn't add it to the 12-bar blues PDF, but you're saying, yeah, can you play it? Yes. If we were doing something in the key of E7, just like Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, right? And then we had, I gotta have more of a, I need that nice Marshall tone there, right? So we could throw this B7 in there. Indeed, in the key of E, that will work. All right? Lee, thanks so much for the kind donation, my friend. Bump, fist bump. Nice. Can you repeat the chords for the key of C, please? C, D minor, E minor, G. C, D minor, E minor, A minor, G. All right, good. Thanks, Eric. Learning to use the pinky in chords has really helped with transitions. Yeah, indeed. Use your pinky. It's there for you. Okay? What is the key on the fretboard without a capo? What are the keys moving up the fretboard without a capo? Dude, no joke. I'm looking at a turkey walk across my front lawn right now. Just giant turkey. Actually, 2 turkeys. 2 turkeys right now walking across my lawn. If they get closer here, I'm going to show them to you because that's just too cool. So Joseph, that's the thing about the guitar. It's not in a key, nor is any, a piano or a violin. They're not in a key. You put them in a key. They can play all the notes. So it's not naturally in a key without a capo. You can play in the key of G. You can play in the key of C. You can play in any key without the capo. So Joseph, when you ask that question, I know that you haven't. Here comes turkey. Watch this. Ready? Look, I swear to God, turkey. You see him out there? 2 turkeys walking in my yard right now. What up, turkeys? That's an effing turkey. 2 turkeys, bro. What's up with that? Come on, man. What's more exciting about that than 2 turkeys? Oh, they're coming right here. Oh, what's up? They're like, come on, let's learn the guitar. Turkey, turkey. Okay, so, question was there another question here? I think that I was going to answer. Okay, gobble gobble. Yes. Mike, I did get the package. Mike Rooney sent me a fantastic, so kind, sent me a Line 6 looper pedal, and that was super kind, Mike. We will definitely put that to use in the studio. Really, really kind of you. Thank you, Mike. I wish you would have kept it though, because we just dropped that whole looper course into the Unstoppable Guitar System and you would have been able to use it. So hopefully you went out and got another looper pedal, because Mike, I want you looping, pal, okay? I want you looping. I know, I need to tell my boy about the turkeys. He would freak out. Sometimes there'll be deer, and now, right, that everybody's home, like they're all over the place. Turkeys and deer and just everything, just all over the house. It's amazing. Okay, yeah, so the F chord, we want to learn the F chord, but it's a bar chord, right? Or at least the full version of it's a bar chord. We talked about that yesterday, and we will get into that yet for our advanced section, okay? We will get into that. Oh, Joseph, I know, I was talking to Joseph. He was asking about what keys going up the fretboard when using a capo. And by asking that question, I know that you have not gone through the Unstoppable Guitar System standard, which I'm giving you for free today, Joseph. If you really want to understand the guitar, you have to invest a little bit of time and you have to do it step by step. You're not just going to grab one answer out of the air and it's going to make sense. It just won't. I wish there was a way to do that. There's no guitar teacher that can do that, because you have, it's like anything else, right? It's holistic. You've got to understand the one thing to understand the other. So Joseph, take advantage of link 2. It will take you to the Unstoppable Guitar System, and you can get the free version, you can get the pro version, whatever, but you've got to understand this. Start from the very first video. It's where everybody in the world starts, or should be starting, and you'll understand it. There is no key on the guitar. You can play it in any key. Doesn't matter. Okay. Have I ever had long hair for rocking? I did. I used to have hair down to my buttocks. And then in 1990, I cut it to my shoulders. And then a few years later, I cut it to here. All right, good. Oh, looper course, Rich. Mine came in the mail yesterday. Can't wait to start with it. Good, Rich. So Rich is in the Unstoppable Guitar System, and we have a whole course with Robbie Calvo in regards to using the looper pedal and how to be a pro, how to sound like a pro, how to create tracks with it, how to use it properly, how to have good ins and outs, just the whole 9 yards. It's pretty amazing. Okay, Pratik is asking a really good question here. In a key, how is it determined which chords can be made dominant, major, minor, etc.? Major, minor, like which ones are sevenths and that sort of thing. Let's address that. Now this is a more advanced question, but I'm gonna answer it anyhow, okay? Because I'm feeling crazy. Okay, so we said, right, the major scale goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah, I'm not going to do it like this. Let's do it like this. Colors really matter. Makes everything easier. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So 1, 4, and 5 are major. 2, 3, and 6 are minor. And 7 is diminished. Okay. Every time, Eric? No, not every time, but 99% of the time. This is the natural occurrence of harmony within diatonic harmony, or that harmony which is produced by the major scale. Basically everything that you listen to, classical, rock, blues, jazz, country, is based off of based off of diatonic harmony. So we have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? The first, fourth, and fifth chord. Jonathan, thanks for the donation. Great content, sir. What should I learn on my own? He's saying. What should I learn on my own before taking on a mentorship? Also, elaborate on posture, shoulder, and thumbs. Jonathan, you got to go through the beginner section of UGS first. What should I learn on my own? Learn that on your own. I mean, like, take that first, okay? I go into detail about posture and, thumb and the shoulder and everything. Go through that course. The second link below, friends. If you haven't been through this, there's a reason I must say it 700 times. It's because it is literally the panacea for your problems on the guitar. 99% of your problems will be solved by that free course. If you don't do it, then you won't get a cure for it. You're going to have to randomly hope that you come across one particular video that's going to answer all your questions. It doesn't work like that. The human body doesn't work like that. You can't just be like, I'm going to eat right, now I'm going to be good, or I'm just going to sleep right. No, you got to sleep right, you got to eat right, you got to think right, you got to be right. There's many things. We're holistic, and music's the same way. If you just try to skip it, you're going to just wonder always why you're not able to do it. Go through the course. It's easy. It'll take you no time at all. And at the end of it, you're going to be like, holy crap, I understand this. Stephen, again, thank you for the donation. Always coming through with the donation. Super kind. Okay, getting back to Pratik's question here. The 3, 1, 4, 5 are always major. 2, 3, 6 minor. 7 is diminished. Okay? 99% of the time it happens like this. Now, as far as 7th chords, it goes like this. 1 and 4 are major 7s. In fact, I'm going to do it like this. Major 7. And you can take a picture of the screen here. Okay? Minor 7, minor 7, minor 7, and then we got half diminished 7. Okay, so it's going to go like this. The 1 is a major 7. When you have that little triangle there, that means major 7. That's the interval that's, the chord's major. This refers to the interval that's on top of it. This is a 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. This is a major triad, major triad, diminished triad, right? So this is the 1, 3, 5 of the major scale. This is the 1 flat 3, 5 of the major scale. This is the 1 flat 3, flat 5 of the major scale. I know I'm losing some of you, but that's okay. It's only because you haven't gone through that free course. Everybody else who's gone through that free course knows exactly what I'm talking about here. If you haven't, you got to go through it again. But this is why I'm saying this stuff is so important, okay? Jean, you're a great teacher, Sweden. Thank you so much, my friend. So kind. All right, so you got to know this. Now, so and here's another way to think about it. If you just take the 1 of the major scale and the 3 and then the 5, that's going to give you your major chord. And then if you take the 2 and you take the 4 and you take the 6 out of the major scale, it will give you that minor chord. If you take the 3 and you take the 5 and you take the 7 out of that major scale, it will give you a 3 minor chord. The intervals just work out this way, and that's why these chords are the way they are. If you take the 4, the 6, and the 1, or the 8, then you will get a major chord. Okay? And that's why all these chords are major and minor. It's not like we're randomly picking that. It's the natural structure of things, okay? Wesley, it's okay that I lost you. Just hang in there, because it just means that there's some things, some pieces that you haven't watched, okay, inside of UGS standard. Just do it. Okay, now, if we wanted to extend these chords, so we were talking about triads, now we're talking about adding those 7ths, right? We have a 1, a 3, a 5, and a 7. If we do that, straight out of the scale here, we end up getting a major 7 chord. So it's a major triad with a major 7 interval on top of it. For folks that I'm losing right now, just hang in here a minute. We're going to go back to some basic stuff here, but I know lights are going to be going on here, okay? If you take the 2, the 4, the 6, and the 8, or the 1 again, then you get a minor 7 chord. That's why I have a minor 7 there. If you do this to the 3, you get a minor 7 chord. The 4, you'd get a major 7. The 5, you would get, Pratik, your dominant 7th chord, which has the flatted 7. These have the normal 7 in it. This has the flatted 7 in it. Then you get a minor 7 here, and then you get a half diminished 7 here. For most of you, that's going to go over your head. It should go over your head. So don't feel weird if it's going over your head, because it should be going over your head. For those of you that get it, great. It's only because you learned the pieces that brought you here. Listen, it's the only difference, okay? The difference between the people that are walking and the people that aren't walking, and when I'm talking about like babies here, right, is the fact that they just haven't crawled, they haven't rolled over on their stomach, crawled, kind of walked, and then now they're walking. That's the only difference. There's a step process to this, like everything else, right? I said it yesterday. If you're doing motocross in the X Games, you did motocross before that, and before that you did BMX, and before that you got on a bike, and before that you got on a bike with training wheels, and before that you got on a tricycle, and before that you were walking, and before that you were crawling, and before that you rolled over on your tummy, and before that you were spitting all over yourself. So there's a process to this, just like guitar. Just remember that, and if you're lost where you're at, it's okay. It just means you were born earlier, right? We're not going to make fun. I'm not going to make fun of my kid because I can walk and run and do all this stuff and he can't. He's 4. So any moron with an ego who says that you shouldn't know this stuff is a moron with a great ego, and they're showing how idiotic they are. No one should be saying that because it doesn't make any sense. You are where you are because of what you learned or haven't learned. That's it. So let yourself off the hook, but now go learn that stuff. Go to UGS Standard and learn that stuff, okay? Yes, you have to. Yes, you have to start at the beginning. So you may be spitting all over yourself. Someone said, yes, Stephen. Lord Excess is saying, play a 4-finger G chord, then drop the two fingers, which gives you a C, add 9. Drop the 2 fingers again. What chord is that? Let's see. What chord is that? It would be some sort of F chord. So let's analyze it. This is how I would analyze this. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't know what that is. Never played that in my life. So we have an F major. We're taking the 1, 3, 5. Thanks for the donation, Lord Access, by the way. This is how I analyze this. Watch. We have an F major chord here, right? I mean, that's what I'm going to associate this with, right? F major. So we have the 1, we got the 3, we got the 5. So here, we're playing a 6. 1, 3, 5. If that's the 5, this is the 6. Okay, 1, 3, 5. Here's our 6. Actually, oh, I take that back, actually. Actually, it's a 7th. No, I was right. It's a 6. That would be our 7th chord. It's a 6. This note here is a G. So in the key of F, a G is a 2. So I had to add 7 to that. I'd call it a 9. So this is an F 6, 9 chord. So you see it as an F 6/9, which just means it has a 6 and a 9 in it. Okay, so this is why it's important to understand the structure of things, because you can literally figure it out. It's like math. It's like, is it better to learn phonics so that you can spell correctly or pronounce things correctly, or is it best to memorize every single word that could ever possibly come across your plate, right? Phonics is so much easier. Or if you learned, would it be easier to learn a method for counting and adding, or would it be easier just to memorize every possibility of every number that could be added? Right? You learn how to add, and then this way you can do it on the fly, and the better you get at it, the quicker you will be, okay? The more you do it, the quicker you'll be, the faster you'll be. Okay. Let's Shake by Teenage Head, a punk band, is GGCFCC. Repeating. G is G. Okay, so it would be, I would interpret that as being in the key of C. I kind of would have to hear the song, but just you saying that, if it was like, right? that's number one. G, C, and F usually point towards the key of C. There's no sharps or flats. That's the 1, 4, 5. Very, very heavy C sound. It could be in the key of G, but probably in the key, I mean, it could be in the key of G, but most likely in the key of C. I would have to hear the song to know for sure. Pravish, thanks so much for the donation, friends. Super kind. All right, good. Let me see if I can get to another question here. Sam, what's the proper way to play a D minor? Sam, just like this. 2, 3, 1. Okay, that's going to be the easiest way to do that. I cover that in the 9 essential chords, which is in the free course that I'm giving you today. Second link below. All right. Oh, thank you, Sam. Well, hopefully, good. Thank you. Hopefully I helped you out there. Okay. Someone's saying, can you explain the concept of quintuplets? Okay, well, you've got twins, you've got triplets, you've got quadruplets, and you've got quintuplets. So, if a woman is taking progesterone or whatever that thing is that gives them lots of eggs, and then they're trying to have one baby, chances are they're going to end up having 5 babies, or it is a possibility. So a quintuplet is when a woman has 5 babies. Why am I explaining that? Now quintuplets is 5, right? So anything that's 5. So the concept, there's not much of a concept there. Like if you were wanting to play something with 5 in a beat, so this would be 2 in a beat would be 1, 2. If my beat is bump 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 bump, then here I'm playing 8th notes. Here I'm playing triplets. Triplet, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's quadruplets. And then if I did quintuplets, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's it. It's just sticking 5 into an area where there would be 4. It's very wonky sounding, right? It's not a typical sound that you're going to hear. And so your ear wants things to be more even, if you would. Hello, dear. Would you please explain how we can improve our ear on intervals? How could we teach our ears to recognize the intervals as fast as possible? Mr. RF, the way to do this, and I'm sure that somebody has some great videos on YouTube on this. I have videos on intervals. In fact, I have them in the free system. Start in the free system in UGS Standard, second link below. I have a video on intervals, and it's important to know the intervals, right? And then what we can do is use other popular songs to use those melodies as our example to say, okay, well, this is a blank. So like, for instance, octaves. I always say My Sharona. Right? That sound. So that right there is an octave. Or if I said, if I wanted to sing My Bonnie lies over the ocean. Right there, My Bonnie, that's a major 6. So I know there's some videos on YouTube regarding this that will help you associate the interval with a song that you already know. When you can do that, that's a real helpful thing, you know. That's the way to do it. We had another donation here. Oh, Carla, thank you. Celebrating my birthday today with the GuitarSage community. Thank you for all you do. You're so welcome, Carla. Thank you. Why use a capo? Rafid is saying. Great question, Rafid. Let's say I'm playing in the key of C. C, F, and G. Let's say you're 9 essential chords. That's your 9 essential chords, dude. You're just doing right now. You're just doing campfire guitar type stuff, and you just know a G, a C, and a D. And you hear this whack job of a guitar teacher because you don't believe him yet. Say you can play millions of songs if you just know G, C, and D, or those basic essential chords. And then you're like, yeah, he didn't know what he's talking about, because in the key of G sharp, now we're playing like G sharp and C sharp and all these chords, and he never taught those. But I did, because I said if you understand how to use the capo, which I teach you how to do, and you put that capo on the 1st fret, now you can play that G sharp. Still feels like a G, and you can play that C. That C sharp. Still feels like a C, but because we put the capo down, now we bumped it up a half a step. And now you can play that D sharp because it's a D. And if you want to keep going, you could do the same. A, D, and E. If you want to go again, you could go A sharp, D sharp, F, and so on and so forth. That's why you would use the capo. That's one reason. Also, you might just want another type of fingering to play these songs, and that capo will allow you to do so. You're gonna see much of this when we start getting into the cage system here at the 12 o'clock mark. So I do talk about why it is that you want to use a capo inside of that free course for you. If you're like, Eric, I don't want to take advantage of your free course, you're probably up to something. Okay, cool. I've got like 1,300 free videos for you on YouTube. Search Your Guitar Sage capo, and then I'll show you why you would use a capo in that case here. And then you won't have to have all that free stuff, so don't worry about it, okay? Won't trick you. Oh, now there's a bunch of little squirrels running around. What is going on? It's like Snow White out there. All right. All right. Now, I saw another donation, right? Oh, Joan, thank you. We got a really hysterical pair rolling around on the ground right now. Thank you so much, Joan, for the kind donation. Yeah, we're going to cover, in 20 minutes, we're going to cover the cage system. It's going to blow your mind. It's okay, it's for beginners too, because as I say, these sorts of things, you've got to be able to understand them conceptually first and then be able to apply them. Right now, I am delving into, which by the way, some of you like when I mention this stuff, Joe Dispenza. I've been talking about him a lot lately because I've been going down the Joe Dispenza rabbit hole. This guy is an absolute genius. He's a doctor, and he talks about rewiring the brain. Most people don't understand that they're stuck in their habits and what have you. Joe Dispenza shows you how you can do this. And I've been listening to him a lot lately. I'm going somewhere with this. When you hear him speak, he's unlocking things in your mind already because he's showing you things that you don't know. Just like I might show you things you don't know about on the guitar. So you have to be able to conceptually get these things first. You got to be able to go, hold on, I don't understand. Can you explain it again? Let me connect the dots. And then you go, oh, hold on, that's amazing. So now what's happening is your mind's going, right? It's opening up, and now you're open to understand this stuff more because you're connecting the dots, just like you could on any level of anything, right? So you start connecting the dots. So you have to be able to conceptually understand it first before you can apply it. So it's like, even though I'm learning all this stuff, I'm also applying it on the side as I'm learning this through meditation and through law of attraction and all this stuff, right? People who say, I don't believe in the law of attraction. If you tell a child he's crap his whole life, or you tell a child that he's great, which one do you think might think that they're great? Which one do you think might have a better future? Definitely the one who, and if you don't believe this, then come to me for a while and I'll verbally abuse you for a while. And I would not do that, but I'll verbally abuse you and we'll see if you don't like that and if it doesn't bring you down. Of course it does, because it's bad energy. You can do the reverse too. But that being said, I had to understand this stuff conceptually first before I can actually start practicing it. So when it comes to the cage system, I told you I'm going somewhere with this. When it comes to the cage system or any of these concepts that I'm teaching you, you do have to just conceptually understand it first, and that's okay. There's two parts. Then you need to be able to apply it to what it is that you do. And that is the second part, but you have to understand it first before you can do that. Make sense? Just got a couple other donations here. Jeez, you guys are slaying this today. Thank you so much for another donation that just came through from Randy. Thanks for all you do, Randy Mansfield. Thank you, buddy. Super kind. Beautiful. M. Burner says, I've followed him for years. I think you mean Joe Dispenza, right? Yeah, he really is just a beast of a dude, man. He's awesome. Oh, woo, woo, he's on fire. How do you deduce which chords work in the keys of C and G? John, you need to know some basic diatonic harmony. You need to know the major scale, which I teach inside that free course. Whole, step, half, whole, half. And then you just go through the scale. After I show it to you, we won't do it now because that's what the free course is there for you. And then once you know the scale, you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And you know that the chords are major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. So it'd be C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, D, B diminished, and C. That's how you would determine that. If it was in the key of G, you would just play the G major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And then we know that it goes major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. So major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. And you will learn that through the course that I'm giving you for free today. It's the second link below. There's not a shortcut to this. You do have to learn the steps. If you don't, you'll never get this, okay? No one will. It's not like you can know it and not know it at the same time. You have to know it. You have to learn it, and it comes through steps, okay? That's why I give you that course, so you can get it. Joe Dispenza is a tremendous mind who is set apart. Indeed, man. God, that guy, I'm addicted to those vids because he is, whoo, amazing. I love this. Wow, Jason, that's terrible. Dr. Phil calls that writing on the slate of your life, what people say, repeats in our internal dialogue at 3,000 times per second. I believe it. Even if it just repeats a couple times a day, it's powerful. But yes. Okay, then what's the difference between major and minor, someone's saying? Okay, the difference between major and minor is you got to know the notes of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And a major scale is the 1, the 3, and the 5 from the major scale. And a minor chord is the 1 flat 3 and the 5 from the major scale. So now if I say something and if I explain it to you, like there's so many different levels I can go and explain this to you, right? And if I say it at a level that you don't understand, it's because you don't have those basics that I'm giving you for free every single time. That's why I say that is the most important 30-something lessons you'll ever watch. And it's not very hard to do, trust me. Most of the people in the broadcast here have gone through those already and they understand the importance of that, okay? Sam, I'm practicing the D minor and it doesn't sound good. How do I make it sound good? Sam, you go through the steps that I'm giving you today. Link 2 down below. Go through that. You have to have the wherewithal to navigate this stuff, okay? It's not a pill. It's nothing that I would just be able to flippantly answer and you'll get. You have to do the steps, okay? I need a meditation gateway recommendation. I need to start meditating. Gene, the very first link below is going to give you the PDF for our 30-day challenge, right? And in that, I also have a link to a free meditation course from one of my favorite guys, Sadhguru, this Indian fella who has guided meditations, and he's just a super wise dude. That's one way you can do it. But I'm leaning more towards Joe Dispenza now, and that type of meditation where it's an active type of meditation. There's nothing wrong with those other types of meditation. There's definitely benefit in those. Those are more like if you want to like slow the mind down, which there's massive science that backs this up, that if you slow the mind down, the chatter that we think is so important, like you ought to pay that bill, you ought to be worried about this, you ought to be worried about that, look out, there's a bear, you got to worry about this, you got to worry about that. That's not intelligence. So you got to quiet that mind. So that's one thing. But search Joe Dispenza. He's got 1 million meditations on YouTube. Amazing. Okay. If you guys have other suggestions, put them in here. Put them in the link, because other folks need this stuff. Okay. Do I have an app? Yes. If you're inside, here's the deal. If you can get the whole Unstoppable Guitar System #1 on your phone, it's mobile ready, but then also if you want to do it within an app, then you get the Kajabi app. Kajabi. Kajabi. That is the platform that we're on, and our UGS members know about this because they can go into that app, and if they have other folks that are on that app too, they can access all their stuff just from one app. It's really cool. So I do have an app, yes. Eric, on the G chord, you showed the D played on the 2nd string. Isn't this just an extra bother? I like the sound of that chord better, Jim. So it just depends on what you like. If you don't like the sound of it, it's like for me, it's all about the sound. It has less to do with is it convenient for me to play. But when you're a new player, convenience and the ability to play something is pretty important. And that's totally okay to do. No foul there. Make this easy. Make it fun so that you keep coming back. If you make it hard and make it a chore, I mean, there's a reason it's called playing guitar. It's not called working guitar. Hey, Mom, I'm going to go work guitar. I'm going to go down to the basement and work guitar. We'll get some biscuits with some mustard and work guitar. No, you play guitar because it's freaking fun, right? So make it fun. But then that when it gets past the part that's hard and you're able to do this stuff, then you may want to go, well, I want it to sound good, right? And that's really important. You want it to sound good. Okay. Dan Millen, Peaceful Warrior on TED Talks. Okay, nice, beautiful. 3 Pillars of Zen. Okay, good. You guys are lit, right? I love it. How to improve strumming. Yoga Nanth is saying. Yoga Nanth, high detail inside of UGS Standard, which is the 2nd link below. I've got a whole course for you for free. Okay, go through that because there's exercises. But essentially, here's the basic trick. It's not going to probably get you there because, again, these things take time. Just like meditation, you can't just be like, I'm going to meditate. Woo, that was better. I'm all better now. Wow, that was, felt like that was a second. It was. You need to invest time into your own mind and into your own being. So it takes digging in with this stuff. But you got to know that there's a downbeat and an upbeat, and there's a down strum and an up strum, and those are in tandem, okay? That's the basic gist of it. But then you need to go through the exercises that I give you with the PDF for free inside the free course, link 2 below. Free your mind and the rest will follow, My Knees Hurt says. Did you hear about the guy, the suspect fell play thrash metal with the turkey jokes? Do you discuss time signatures in your course? I do briefly. They're real easy. Time signatures are real easy. It goes like this. When you see a time signature that says 4/4, then what it's saying is that you have 4 quarter notes. These are quarter notes, right? This is equal to a quarter note. So you have 4 quarter notes per measure. If this were 3/4, then you would have 3 quarter notes per measure. So something that was in 3 would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. If something's in 4, it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sense? And it has a different emphasis or emphasis, however you want to put it. Has a different emphasis, okay? Make sense? Good, good. Listen to this. Amber is lit, number 1. Amber Roper here saying, meditation if you want to open your mind to an idea. Focus on a single topic. Example, the notes of a chord, the notes on a string. 100%, right? This is also called mindfulness. It's when you can focus your attention on one particular thing, on a task. In essence, that's meditation with your eyes open. And ultimately, it's good to go meditate, right? It's good to meditate when you close your eyes and you do this thing, but then you have to go out into the real world. And then when someone cuts you off in traffic, let's say you were driving around, we're not doing that too much right now, but like if somebody did and they cut you off in traffic, it's going to pull you out of your state, right? So you want to get back into your good state very quickly. So this idea of focusing just like on your hands as you're playing and stuff like that is a form of meditation. It's also super, super, super powerful in you getting through whatever it is you're trying to do, okay? By the way, friends, thank you so much for sharing this. We have over 600 folks in here, 614 folks. Yesterday, we went over 700. I was so excited about that. You know, when you're doing this sort of thing and you can reach lots of people and you see it's never gone over 700 before on a weekly broadcast, that's pretty cool. Oh, by the way, I've got a surprise for you today. Friends, I totally forgot to tell you this. And in fact, if one of my team would drop the link in here, you can open it up in a new tab. It won't be live until 1:15. But friends, we are doing a premiere today on why it is that you should stop playing guitar, why you need to quit playing guitar. The excuses that are viable excuses for quitting guitar. So some of you out there, you're like, oh, I'm on the fence. Should I quit guitar? I just started. It's really hard. I'm a lefty. I'm kind of older. I'm kind of younger. My hand's kind of fat, etc., etc. You're saying these things, okay? And in this video, I specifically address the excuses that you should quit the guitar, okay? Watch this video at 1:15. We won't drop it until till then, so an hour and 19 minutes from now, okay? And I'm gonna be with you there. It's a premiere, so I'll be typing away. I'll be talking with you there. We're all gonna go there together and watch it, okay? Would you do that with me? Okay, thanks so much, Emmy. Thank you so much, Mike, for dropping that. But we'll drop it again. It's not gonna work until 1:15, so just open it up in another tab and get ready for the fun at 1:15, okay? All right, cool. And then we're gonna go Rob watched it yesterday because he's in UGS. If you're in UGS Pro, you get to see this stuff early. That's one of the fringe benefits of being a UGS member. Okay, we got 4 minutes yet before we go to the caged system. I see someone shouting cage. We're gonna do it. But let me get to some questions here real quick. You said the video is hilarious. What do you mean hilarious? It was very serious. Why you should be quitting guitar. Yes, yeah, and please share it for sure. Tony Iommi cut his fingertips off and rules. I think he had one digit that had a shortened tip, right? And I don't think he did it purposely. I think something happened to his finger, right? Yeah, and he was great. Great player. He still is, right? Can't wait for the cage. Nice, Amber. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it here in just 1 second, okay? Is all the content that is on Udemy contained in UGS? Chris is asking. No, Udemy is another website that hosts my stuff, but they have older versions of those videos and they don't have nearly as many. That being said, Chris, if you're in that system already and you want to come over to UGS, we could probably work something out for you. But here's the deal. you're probably fine in that system for right now. Once you exhaust it, then I would say come over to UGS. But you can also just come on over to UGS, whatever you want to do, you know? It was a work accident, Larry is saying. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Willie, that's a fun game right there. One thing you would recommend to guitar players. One thing. The one thing is know that everything is possible through work. That's the one thing. The second thing would be get into Unstoppable Guitar System Standard and walk through that step by step. That would be the second thing. You're so welcome, Bruce. Why does it seem the barred F seems very much easier than the A7, D7, E7 shuffle? Well, those are two different separate things. You're talking about a chord, and you're talking about a shuffle of something else. So I would have to know what you mean specifically there. Darn, not able to watch. Stafford, it won't be available till 1:15. It's a premiere, so stay tuned. At 1:15, we're gonna premiere that. Okay, so I'm gonna be there with you, and we're gonna do it together. Okay. Babs Turner, thanks so much for the $10 donation. Super kind. We're going to do cage system in 1 minute. Since all the notes in the scale are the same, one makes one scale major and another minor. Not all the notes in the scales are the same. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Thomas. They're not all the same. How do I figure out? And so here's the deal. Thomas, you are not in the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. I know you're not, because the way you ask that question. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. There's always a first day, right, for everything. But you got to get in there. I know the people that are in there and the people that aren't by the way you're asking questions, because you're asking questions that mean you're not in there. So I know that you're not in there. And if you are, that means you skipped something. How do I figure out if I adjust the cover song to the right key, different key from the original recording for my singing? I'm told a tenor, or should I ask this in the advanced hour, alto? That's okay. No, it doesn't matter. Every song is different. So some people will say, C major is my key, G major is my key. It doesn't really work like that, because every song's different. Maybe the song in one song in G is only going to go up to a high G, and then another one's is going to go up to, say, like a high E, whereas another one might go up to a high G, right? 3 half steps higher. So in those cases, it's song dependent. It's not like, oh, I sing best in this key. Okay, it can be that most of the songs that you get in that key work there because people will only top out at a certain note, but it is song dependent. So Ato, you will know that you've keyed it right because it feels comfortable to you. What I would always do is I would always find out what the highest note is in the song, and if I could hit it and it was in my range, but just right at the top of my range, then usually the rest of the song felt really good. Because you could sing too low where you don't have enough of that power, right? Does that make sense? And then if you key it too high, then when you go to hit that high note, you squeak out. So what you want to do is you want to bring that highest note just to where you can hit it, but you're doing it, it's like you're going for it, but it's attainable. That's what I like to do personally, and that's what most people do as well. Okay, friends, here we go. We're getting into the intermediate advanced lesson. By the way, there's 644 folks in here, and I have a really strong feeling that we're going to go over 700 today. And because of that really strong feeling, that means, yeah, we're going there, okay? If you would like, let's talk about it. We're going into the advanced lesson, folks. So, as we're going into this, friends, if you have not already, please like this video. By liking it, you're helping me help you, because the video gets more attention on YouTube. Obviously, I can get AdSense and stuff like that. And that also helps other people know what we're doing here. 30-day challenge. We're enlightening our minds with all sorts of stuff. We're getting better at guitar. We're doing this 30-day guitar challenge. We're staying positive. We're helping each other as a community. So if you'd like it, you're doing me a real big favor, and I really appreciate that. even a bigger favor is if you share this out to the interwebs. Yesterday, you guys doing this, we popped up above 720. We had a big giant party here. Everybody was going nuts. It was really fun in the chat there. Everybody was like, yeah, and I was too. It was great. So if you would, please share this. And lastly, subscribe if you are not subscribed already and you would like to know more about all this good stuff. Okay, we're moving into the advanced lesson here, folks. And if you're new to the 30-day guitar challenge, it takes 21 to 30 days to establish a habit. That's why I'm here with you every single day for 2 hours in the month of April so that we can go through this. Link 1 below is going to give you access to the PDF, okay, which has other stuff in it. It's 5 pages. I think it's 5 pages. It's not just this. It's other stuff. All the beginner lessons, all the advanced lessons, and the day that we're doing it, etc. There's even a check mark for you if you want to go through it, okay? I'm giving you the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard today for free. It covers all these videos. UGS Pro is this plus a bazillion other things, but I'm giving you this all for free today, okay? Second link below, and then when you go to that page, you can see the options to purchase, but then there's a free option as well. That's one you want to get into. Top 30 lessons that you have to know. And if you do this, friends, when you're watching my 1,300 videos on YouTube and you're watching me live and stuff, you're gonna know like 90% of what I'm talking about. And then when I do present a new idea that's more advanced, you're gonna get it. You're gonna be ready for it. But if you don't, you're gonna be stumbling across all the piddly stuff that you should have learned already. I don't say piddly, it's the most important stuff. It's the foundational stuff. You're gonna be tripping over that because you didn't take the time to learn it, okay? So I'm giving that to you for free so that you can move along with us at this hyper speed instead of struggling, okay? I don't want you to struggle. Guitar, you shouldn't struggle. There's no such thing as someone who can't play guitar, except for the people that I talk about in the video that we'll show at 1:15, with the exception of those, okay? All right, now, what we're talking about today is the cage system, and unfortunately, my printer is kind of a little bit goofy here today. This is the cage system, okay? This is one of several pages of the cage system. If you want, you can take a picture of that. Take a picture of that. I think we have a new PDF for this, actually. If not, Mike, if you'd put that on the list, we do need to have a new one because this one, you can read it, but it's not super easy. You can't read it super easy, just like this, but I can read it fine. Okay, let's talk about the cage system. It goes like this. And I say this story all the time that for a little while in the early days of YouTube, when I was posting guitar lesson videos on there and I would see this cage system come up all the time, right? YouTube was suggesting videos for me. And I'd see the cage system, and I was like, man, I've taught for so long. Why don't I know what the cage system is? I probably should have. I'm a guitar teacher, right? People expect you to know everything, which is just not true. But I was like, I need to know this cage system, right? Charlie, thanks for the donation, my friend. Super kind, brother. Charlie Jervis, thank you, bud. So I said I need to know this cage system. And then I watched the video on it, and I said, oh, wait a minute, I know that. I just don't know it as the cage system. I never called it the cage system, but this idea of calling it the cage system makes a lot of sense, and in fact, it makes it a lot easier. I just teach it as here are the ways that you can play the chords across the neck. So a lot of people are mystified by how do you play beyond that open position? How do you play beyond the 9 essential chords? I said it yesterday, anything that you do in the open position can be done further up the neck. A lick, or a chord, right? So it's all the same chord there. Right? Anything you do in the open position, you can move further up the neck. Well, with that being said, there are 5, count them, only 5 open major chords. There are only 5. F is not an open chord, so we don't count that one. Here are the chords: C major, A major, G major, E major, and D major. C, A, G, E, and D. If you put those 5 together, it spells the word caged. Now, this is the really important part here, is that I said you could take any one of these chords, move them up the neck, right? Well, because of that, these chords you can play in 5 different positions, 5 different forms: the C form, the A form, the G form, the E form, and the D form. And they move up the neck, C, A, G, E, and D. They move up the neck according to the spelling of the word caged. How cool is that, right? That's pretty badass that it just so happens to work that way. So let's talk about this, okay? It goes like this. And here's the deal. We're not going to spend a ton of time with it, but we are going to spend some time with it. Folks, we have 676 folks here. I told you 677. We're going to go to 700 today. I feel it hard because of you guys sharing and because of all the energy. Come on, let's do it all together right now. Collective consciousness over 700. Ja! There we go. All right, it's done. Watch this. Okay, now here we go. There's 678. It's going up. I'm telling you. We're going to go to 700 today. Here we go. 682. Look at how quick that works. That collective consciousness right there, man. Woo, that's beautiful. Nice. Okay, so watch. I'm going to show you. C major. If I play C major and I release my first finger and I do this, right? Here's my C chord. Put my first finger here. This allows me to take this and bar the fret and act like I'm the nut. My first finger, I am a nut, but use my first finger as the nut, right? And then so a C major can become a C sharp major, can become a D major. But Eric, I thought this was D major. It is. So is this. 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 So what I'm showing you is you can play these chords across the neck, but we have to know how to do each one individually first. So here's our C, freeing up that first finger. Now remember, we need to get this conceptually first, all right? Once you get it conceptually, then you'll understand and believe me, and then it'll give you the energy to want to actually play these chords. That's the second part of this. So here's C major. Playing without my first finger so I can use my bar here and move it up the neck. C sharp. By the way, 690, folks. We are 10 away from 700. Woo! Come on, can you feel the power? C sharp. D. D sharp. E. Jez, thanks for the donation, brother. So kind of you, my friend. Oh, 698. Oh, it's happening. Ah! It's happening. Ooh, collective consciousness, 699 is happening. All right. we hit 702 just now, by the way. I just saw it pop up. So you guys did it. Thank you so much. F right there. F. F sharp. G, 701. We got above 700. What? Beautiful. Thanks, guys. Right, so what do we got here? G, G sharp, and A. Makes sense? Now, what's up with that? Number one, thank you so much for sharing this, and thank you so much. I love that we got above 700. I really do believe in that collective consciousness, by the way. And I would get off on a tangent, but I won't. People want to learn about guitar, because it's your guitar sage, not your philosophy sage, right? Okay, so now we can do this with every chord. So I'm going to show you. There's their C chord. Watch this. Here's an A chord. And what we're talking about is we're talking about the form. Look, there's a difference between form and there's a difference between the actual chord. Because we can play, I mean, this is an E form, right? And I'm moving it up the neck. But it's obviously a different chord each time that we play it. So remember, there's form, there's what the chord looks like, and then there's what the actual chord is. Just remember, there's those two different things. If you understand that, then this is going to make a lot more sense as we do this, okay? So watch. I'm going to use the A form now. Here's the A form. You know that one, right? So I'm going to play it with a bar because it's going to look like that when we move it up the fretboard. Don't worry if you can't play that bottom E string if it mutes out. But we're going to play the A chord like that, right? Now, if I free up this first finger and I play A sharp, we can move this up the fretboard. B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Okay? That's the A version. Here's the G chord. No one uses this, but just know it can be used. Okay, here's a G chord. Freeing up my first finger. Don't try this at home, kids. Here's a G chord. I'll put my first finger here. That's G sharp. That's A sharp. No one plays this chord. You don't have to play it. Just understand that you could and that it's movable. You could use this one. We use that all day long, but sometimes we just use partial chords. Someone's going to ask it. I swear to God, someone's going to say, how do we play that chord? You don't really. You just know that you can. It's possible. A sharp, and so on and so forth. You just keep moving that up. That's the G. C, A, G, E. Here's E. I'm going to free up that first finger. So now we got F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, so on and so forth, right? Then we can do the same thing with a D chord. Free up that first finger. No one uses this chord either, by the way, this form. They don't put the first finger down here very often. But just knowing that you can is very helpful. Okay, now you know what I mean. We got 5 forms, right? And if we move those forms up the neck, we can play 12 different versions of that form, okay? So you learn one form, you've got 12 chords for every single one of those. So with the cage system, you have 60 versions of those. Not even counting minors, not even counting minor sevenths, dominant sevenths, major sevenths, as I teach inside the Unstoppable Guitar System. So some folks are like, dude, I got this cage system, Eric. Cool, do you? Can you do sevenths with it? Can you do major sevenths with it? Can you do minor sevenths with it? Can you solo with it? Can you do all that? Because if you can't, then you need to be in the Unstoppable Guitar System Pro, because that's where I teach all that major, mega, heady rock and roll type stuff, okay? But I do have free videos for you here on YouTube on the cage system if you're not interested in doing the pro stuff, okay? Got you covered, all right? Now, watch this. I said to you that the chords go up, the forms go up, C, A, G, E, D. Now watch this. There are 6 string root chords, meaning that the root of the chord, or the letter name of the chord, is on the 6th string. There are 5th string root chords, which means that the bass note, or the root note of the chord, is on the 5th string. There's 2 of those, and there's 2 6th string roots. And then lastly, for the cage system, there is the D string, or the D chord, which has its bass or root note on the D string, the 4th string. That being said, watch this. The 2 6th string chords go together, and then the 2 5th string chords go together, and then the D. Okay, so just think about this. Think about the C chord has the bass note on the 5th string. The A chord has the bass note on the 5th string, right? C, A. G, E, D. So the G chord has the bass note on the E string, the low E. And the E chord has the bass note on the low E, the 6th string, okay? That's C, A, G, E. And then the D chord has the bass note on the D string. So you can remember that C, A, G, D, like whatever the chord is naturally down here, that's where the bass note is at, and that's how you'll form it going up. I'll give you an example here. We're going to use 5 forms, C, A, G, E, and D, but we're only going to play a C chord. That's where this magic comes in, because you see your favorite player playing up the neck, playing the same chord, or just playing up the neck, and you're like, geez, how do you know how to do that? Guess what, genius? You're going to figure out how to do this today because you're a genius. Watch this. C major chord. C form. Remember, the C form is what it looks like, but the actual ear is telling you what chord it is, because the ear doesn't care if you're playing it like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. It's all a C chord. Makes sense? But we're playing all these different forms. So here's a C major chord. Get ready for your mind to be blown. If your mind gets blown, please put a fire symbol into the chat there, or just say mind blown, because I gotta see it. I gotta know if your mind's being blown. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, I'm losing them. You gotta let me know if your mind gets blown here. Ready? Watch this. C major chord, C form. Okay, it's a C form. Now here's my bass note right there. Right there's our bass note. I'm gonna base the next chord off of that, which is an A, okay? Lynn's mind is blown. So here's A, because we're going C-A-G-E-D. C-A-G-E-D. So C form, C chord, C form, A. C chord, C form. C chord, A form. Same bass note. Okay, now, we find the C. Now we had our two 5th string ones. Now we do our two 6th string ones and then the D string. So here's C, A. Here's another C, because we had the next two chords are on the 6th string. Now watch this. These chords are all connected. You can see. Watch that finger. We'll put a finger there and play my chord. Now watch this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to form that G form. Not that you will at home. You just need to conceptualize it in your mind. There's the G form, right? Looks like a G chord. Make sense? C, A, G. Now here's my bass note. Each last fret of the previous chord will connect the next chord. So now that note right there, I'm going to do this, and now I got my E form. Look, the lights are coming on. There's thunder, there's lightning, there's fire, there's light bulbs, there's mind blown, there's prayers. This is beautiful. Good. And then lastly, using my springboard technique, right? So just search YourGuitarSage springboard, you'll find this. You use the octave, you go down 2 strings, up 2 frets, and then you find that note right there, or what would be the D string bass note, and then you base your chord off of that. Right? Oh, beautiful. You guys are getting it. Illuminated. Yes, yes. Somebody said beautiful. Good. You guys are rocking it. Good. Christine, good. Beautiful. Okay? So there's the last version. That's the D version. And now watch. It goes right back to caged again. So here we go. Look at these. See those 3 notes right there? That little triangle. I'm going to grab that little triangle right there. And then here's my C chord again. Just like down here. Now, this doesn't make sense to you that way. Look at right here. Here's the C form. Okay, try to make this pretty big here for you. There's the C form. Here's the A form. Here's the G form. Here's the E form. And here's the D form. And then if we put them all together, look. Here's the C form. Right? Right on there. And then here's the A form. The C form here is in black. The A form here is in purple. The G form is in orange. The E form is in yellow. And then the D form is in kind of purple-ish, if you will. And you can see they all fit. So this is why you could, and you could do this for any chord. It doesn't matter, right? C, 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 C. You know, if I wanted to do this for the G chord. You know, this is a G chord, this is a G chord, G chord, G chord, G chord, G chord, G chord. Make sense? Now, for those that are inside of the Unstoppable Guitar System, and by the way, we're at 700 again, so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this, my friends. I love that the lights are going on, minds are being blown. This is beautiful. If I could, I'm so freaking pissed. This is amazing. I love it. I literally am so excited that I'm pissed. And that's what happens sometimes. I just get pissed. I'm really happy, actually. I'm happy that the lights are going on, because this will get you to understand the whole fretboard in ways that you haven't before. You can also use this for soloing, but we're not going to get into that because I do want to get to your questions, okay? All right, let's get into some of those questions because I know you got them, right? So these connect much like the different forms of the pentatonic scale. That's ballin'. Wesley, not only do they kind of connect just like the pentatonic scales, they fit exactly into the pentatonic scale. So it's the same thing. Like literally. Like if you take the C chord, right, and you want to play the pentatonic scale, it kind of looks like the chord here. that make sense? I mean, it's like literally exactly that. And I teach that inside of UGS Pro, like how to understand that part. Beautiful. I love it. I love that you guys are getting this, okay? Sorry it's off topic, but my wife's name is Melissa Pierce, P-E-I-R-C-E, P-E-I-R-C-E. Somebody put a radioactive symbol up there. Exactly, right? I love that you guys are getting it. All right, what are your questions for this or anything that we've been doing, okay? Am I related to Jeremy Piven? No, but I love that guy. He's funny. Hello, Pradesh. How are you doing, sir? If you do the G form and only hold your index finger down, you have the G triad. I've never been able to find it quickly. There you go, but now you can. And so, like I said, you know, there's a few of those forms that if they're not comfortable for you, that's okay. Just do the ones that are comfortable for you, but know where the other ones are because sometimes you'll use them for different things. I mentioned this yesterday that like, if I was say playing in the key of, it doesn't matter, but if I was playing in a, you know, if I wanted to use this form, the D major form, I might not play the bass note. Why would I play that? The bass player's using that. So right here, right? But I might just use that triangle part. I might just be like, in fact, let's have some fun, shall we? Watch this. Let's put this looper on, okay? And let's have some fun with this. Yeah, you ready? Here we go. See, so like literally you get to just have fun with this stuff, with these five versions of these chords. Put the looper on and just do all this stuff, and you can create on the fly. It makes it so fun. That's how people do it. And they, you know, people that say, well, I don't know music theory, it's like, but they know all these shapes. They just don't know it, again, like as the case system or something, but they just know the shapes like I did. So they know the theory, you know. All right, good. Isn't that fun? I love stuff like that, man. I mean, just like it makes it so easy to play guitar. So easy. Off topic, is there a platform to jam together without latency over the internet? There is something called Jam Kazam. Look that up. Jamkazam. They've asked me to be an ambassador of their product, and I would love to, but I'm just way too busy. I can't do it. But Jam Kazam can do that. Someone's asking a C add 9. Yeah, so a C add 9 is when we add the 9th note of the scale to the chord. So if we have a C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a C major scale. I'm going to play a C chord, and I'm going to add a C add 9. And some people will play it like this because it's a little bit easier to play. Arguably. Okay, movable chords. I moved chords from one guitar to another, and they work just fine. Who knew? Okay, so good. What's your finger practice routine? Michael's saying. Michael, start with exercise number 1, then do exercise number 2. Number 1 has 24 variations to it, and then do exercise number 2, and then exercise number 3, as I have inside of UGS, right? UGS Standard is free for you, the second link below. That's one of many routines that I have. Really, for me anymore, I play songs. I don't work routines out unless there's a particular something I'm trying to work on. I typically just work on the riff or the solo or the song that I'm working on at that time, and I get really good at that by just focusing on that. However, 365 guitar plan that I have for you, if you're inside UGS Pro, you get that for free, then that's 367 or so different exercises. It's more than 365 actually. Eric, can you explain the Nashville number system? Gary, I can in a basic nutshell, right? Because it takes a little bit of time to go through this, and I've got videos for you on this. Just search YourGuitarSage Nashville number system. But otherwise, you got to know the major scale: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. That's in the key of G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And each note has a chord assigned to it. For major keys, it's major, minor, minor, major, minor, diminished, and back to major again. And so if you see a chord progression that says like 1455, then it would be the 1 chord, and then the 4 chord, and then the 5 chord twice. What's up, Spider-Man?
Hi.
It's my little boy. It's my boy, right there. You want to say hi?
Yeah, let's say hi.
You come over here and tell everybody hi, and then you going outside.
No, we're gonna do shop.
You gonna do what?
Shop.
You gonna do what?
Doing shop.
Oh, you're doing some math. Say hi, man. Hey, do you remember the 5 elements of music again? Right there. Can you tell everybody the 5 elements of music in case they missed it yesterday? What was it?
Melody.
Melody.
Harmony.
Harmony.
Rhythm.
Rhythm.
Timbre.
Timbre.
Intensity.
Intensity, right? Oh, that's my boy. I love you. Thank
Bye,
you so
Daddy.
much. Bye, buddy. Thank you so much for sharing with everybody.
We're gonna do shop now.
You're a cute guy. I love you.
Yeah, we're gonna do shop now.
Okay, you're dang cute, man. Love you.
We're doing a story.
Okay. All right, beautiful. That's my boy right there. All right, so Marco is saying, loving Master the Blues. You recommended playing the 1-4-5 in a minor key to change its makeup, to make an A7, D7, E7 minor, just like the flat thirds. Seeing if I'm getting this theory thing. Also, light bulb today. Beautiful, Marco. Yeah, you can do that very easily, right? So if we play a chord progression, you know, blues is usually like A7, D7, E7, or you know, a 1-7, 4-7, 5-7 type of thing. So we got this, you know, this. But you could also go minor keys. Okay, let's try this. so you get the idea there. Now I did make that E a seventh chord, which a dominant seventh chord, which technically is a major chord with a flat 7 on it, but I did make the 1 and the 4 minor, and you could make them all minor if you wanted to, okay? So Marco, great. Yeah, you're getting it. Great job. Excellent. And it is. It sounds very much like House of the Rising Sun because they use an A minor, a D minor, and an E7 in there. So nice ear, Mother Milkshake. Nice job. Being an Apple user, do I ever use GarageBand? Yes, I do. And I also use Logic, which is kind of the step up from there. But honestly, I still don't know what the difference is. They're like nearly identical. Supposed to be a little bit more powerful, I believe. But yeah, GarageBand is bonkers, and you can use it on your iPhone and on your iPad and all the rest. Friends, don't forget, in a half hour, in about a half hour, we are going to be premiering a video that you have to see. If you're on the fence about playing guitar, if you're like, you know, I don't know, Eric, you seem like a nice guy, you seem like you're not a liar, you seem like you're not a charlatan, but I'm telling you, I'm not cut out for guitar. I don't think I am. Then you gotta watch the video that we're gonna be dropping at 1:15 today. You gotta watch it because it could be that you should not play guitar. But that being said, you gotta watch this first to determine whether you are cut out for guitar or not, you know? I've changed my mind here recently on some reasons that you may not be able to play guitar. I know, disappointing, but watch this video. Don't think that you know the reason why it is that you shouldn't play guitar, but there is at least one reason that you might not should play the guitar. I mean, people say, right, my hands are too small, my hands are too big, I'm too young, I'm too old, I don't have the talent, I don't have the right equipment, that sort of thing. So it could be any one of those, right? It could be other ones. So just watch this video at 1:15. It's going to make a big difference. You're going to understand what it is, if you should be playing guitar or not, okay? Working on my Saturday 365 lessons as well. Beautiful. Michael, thank you so much for the donation, friend. Beautiful. All right, that's a good attitude. I have too many to quit now. Nice, Don. So Ben's saying, you explain the C add 9, can you explain a C5? So any 5 chord that we're talking about is really a perfect fifth. Okay, that's all it is. It's a power chord. And so when we're talking about power chords, we're talking about, you know, usually we're talking about a basic chord, we're talking about a triad, the 1, the 3, and the 5. That 1, 3, 5 can be a 1 flat 3, 5, which is a minor chord. It could be a 1, 3, 5, which is major. It could be a 1 flat 3, flat 5, which is a diminished chord. It could be a 1, 3 sharp 5, which is an augmented chord. So it can be all those. But if we take out the third, we're taking out the flavoring of it because the third changes a lot. If you think about out of the 7 diatonic chords, there's majors, minors, and a diminished chord. For 6 out of those 7 chords, the 5 is in the exact same place all the time. For the diminished chord, it's not, but people rarely play the 7 as a chord anyhow. So you literally could play chords 1 through 6 and never alter the 5. Rock and punk players discovered this years ago, and then they started playing instead of like this, instead of going major, 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 instead of doing that, they went. Hey, ho, let's go, right? Because they discovered that, number one, the chords sound a lot better, punk-wise and metal-wise, right? If you don't include that third. Otherwise, it sounds kind of folky. Too much info. We want this. Right? Also, metal, right? Any metal stuff, right? Whoops. Let's take that off. Power chords, right? And so because of that, that's a fifth. And we know that is a fifth is because this. Watch, if I have a G, and if I want to play a G5, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I play the fifth, the 1 and the 5. That's it. And that shape is the same everywhere you go. Make sense? Okay. Someone say suspended chords. How do you play suspended chords? Suspended chord is when we put a 4 in the chord instead of the 3. And it's called suspended because that note's kind of in the air, if you will, in our ears. It wants to resolve down, okay? So for instance, you hear this sound right here. That's a D sus or D suspended, and it wants to resolve. Make sense? Okay. And so basically what you do is you go through the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you add the 4 to instead of the 3. And it's usually right next to the 3. It's a half step above it if you're talking about a major chord. Oh, wow, Daniel, thank you so much, brother, for the kind donation. $50. Whoa! Daniel likes some Metallica or whatever I did there. Maybe he likes the Ramones. Beautiful. Daniel, thank you, bud. And Addie as well. So she's either a Ramones or Metallica fan or just a coffee fan, a pear drinking or a coffee drinking pear fan. Beautiful. Thank you. So right. So that's if you just take a major chord and you take the 3rd, which is the note that makes it major or minor, you would know this because here's D major, here's D minor. So it's that one note that moves, right? If it were in the case of an A major or A minor, it's the one note that moves between the A and the A major and the A minor. If you take that major note and you go up a half step, now you have the suspended chord. Wow, if you know only major and minor chords, we just literally doubled your chord vocabulary by having the ability to play suspended chords. So you take the note that changes from major to minor, and in the major version of it, you go up a half a step on that one note, and then you have a suspended chord. Super easy, right? Isn't that awesome? Okay, so for instance, like this. Here's E major, and so instead of that first finger there, we're gonna put the pinky down. You know? Rick is saying, what's the BB box? It's a hard one to explain in just a few minutes, Rick. I have a whole video on that. But essentially, if we're in the key of A, you know, and we've got this going on. Playing it, it's more like the Angus box, but because Angus liked the BB box as well, by the way. He used that quite a bit, but BB King was real famous for using that because what he did essentially, watch my video on that because I go into high detail, but essentially, you know, normally that's what we're used to playing there if you're extending that pentatonic scale and it's minor sounding. What BB did is he went, put that note, which is more in the major scale, and then this 2. And he would bend that up to a major, so. That sort of thing, okay? You should watch some videos on how to hold your pick. All right, good, excellent, great questions, great questions. Andy is saying, hi Eric, loving your videos. Any thoughts on my hero costs? I don't know what that means, Andy. I don't know how to answer that. But thank you for the kind words, but you have to let me know what my hero cost is. Oh, you're so welcome, Stephen. Just beginning my guitar journey. Thank you so much for your instructions, but also for your encouragement. UGS is awesome. Beautiful. Love it. I have a photogenic mind, but it never developed. I gotcha. You guys are goofing on me right now. All right, good. Oh, was there another donation? Yeah, there was. Oh, Brittany and Lindsay podcast account. Thank you, Brittany and Lindsay. Thank you so much. Super kind. Have to let us know what your podcast is about. We'll check in on it. Eric, please share some practices so we can improve the vibrato, the timing, the finger style, and etc. Mr. RF, you just mentioned like 3 really broad strokes. So I don't know which one to help you with there, right? Vibrato, the timing, finger style, that's a lot. Mr. RF, it sounds like to me you're not in UGS standard. So I definitely would start there. You gotta start there. I'm telling you, this is for you, not for me. It doesn't help me if you're in there. It helps me, I suppose, that when I tell you something, you're gonna get it a lot quicker and you're gonna be a much better player. But this is for you. That's why I'm making it available to you. The second link below, get in there, friends. You're gonna be amazing at it, okay? I promise you, you're gonna get this stuff. But you've got to learn that. And I talk about timing. I don't get into vibrato. I do get in. I've got videos on fingerstyle. Search YourGuitarSage finger picking. Search YourGuitarSage vibrato. Search YourGuitarSage metronome on YouTube, and I have videos for all that stuff in there for you. Those are all 3 real broad strokes that each one of those would take a while to explain. Okay. Are you going to go into lead scales of caged? I won't, because I'm going to lose a lot of people for that, because that's a more detailed type of lesson. But I do have that inside of UGS Pro. Okay, I might have a YouTube video for it. I don't know. Search YourGuitarSage caged. You might find it like that. But I definitely have a whole course for that inside of UGS. Okay. What's the difference between Texas, Chicago, and Memphis blues? I've been reading and watching videos, but you seem to make the material and ideas far easier to absorb. Marco, I don't have a video on that. That's a great question. I don't know if that's video worthy per se, if enough people would want to watch that, because obviously, yes, you want to watch it, but when you create a video, you want it to be accessible to a lot of people, or a question that's going to answer a lot of people. Makes sense, right? So I couldn't tell you just off the top of my head, but a lot of that stuff has to do with like style, like just the, tempo, instrumentation, chord progressions, those sorts of things. Now blues is fairly bluesy, so it's 1-4-5 chord progression for the most part. But when they say Texas blues, you can think about, well, who's from Texas, right? The Fabulous Thunderbirds, Stevie Ray Vaughan, ZZ Top, Texas is a pretty big ass state, so there's a lot of people from Texas. But you get the idea there. Chicago's going to have a certain sound. Memphis is going to have a certain sound. Any special plans for your last live stream in this series? Wesley, I don't know. We're going to have to come up with something. I don't know. If you guys have ideas, let me know. Rick is saying, do you have any videos on modes? Rick, search YourGuitarSage modes. I'm pretty sure that I do. I know I have a whole series inside of UGS Pro for sure. But here I'm going to have to ask you this question, Rick. How much do you love jazz? Do you absolutely adore jazz? Because if you don't worry about the modes for right now. There's a million other things for you to learn first. You're just not going to use them very much in rock, blues, that sort of thing. You might use them a little bit in jazz, but even then I've met jazz players that do nothing about modes, but they were just outlining the chord, which is essentially playing the modes. And so, but a lot of people think, though, if I know the modes, I've got the pick of destiny, and I'm going to be able to play the licks that unlock the musical god treasures. It's not really like that. But a lot of people think that because there's not a lot of information there about the modes, that it should be something that should be examined further and really embraced. And it's just not like that. I know the modes, I can teach them to you, I can tell them all to you, I'll show them to you in any key. I don't use them, ever. I use them 0.00001% of the time. It's not to say that it may not be for you, but I doubt it. Most people that ask about it, and then when I start explaining it, they're like, no, this is not at all what I thought it was. B-movie references. Did I make a B-movie reference? I probably did, because I'm literally watching the B-movie every single day with my kid. But, Pantera's from Texas. Huh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Did I make a B-movie reference? I probably did. Yeah, I'm watching that constantly with my kid. Oh, my wife thinks you should have a jam sesh with some of your UGS members for the last live stream. I would love to do that. You know what we could do? You know what we could do? Let me see what the last day is. Oh, playing with a jam track. Look at that, Wesley. Your wife is quite prophetic. Phil, thanks for the donation, friends. Super kind. Love it. Ha ha ha. Got a very funny laughing pair there. Okay, so the last day we're doing playing with a jam track. So this will be great. Let's do that on the last day, and remind me if I forget that. I'm going to play a jam track, one of the 600 or so that are inside of the Unstoppable Guitar System that are available for you guys. I'm going to play one of those. By the way, I also have jam tracks on YouTube. Search YourGuitarSage jam tracks, and not only will I give you a lesson in there, but I'll also have a jam track that you can noodle over the top. So the very last day, let's do that. We will jam together. I will put on a jam track and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll jam over it some, and then I'll play it for you, and I'll play the rhythm part. And each one of the 800 or 900 people at that point that will be in the broadcast will be able to jam all separately and all together at the same time, and it won't be a cacophony of craziness. It'll be cool because you'll just be hearing yourself, right? Cool. What a great idea, Wesley. Thank you so much. Thank your wife. Let's do that. Thanks to her. Speak up, friends. It all starts with a thought. It all starts, right? Every single thing, from the building of the light bulb to the building of a building to the building of a song, right? It all starts with a thought. Jim, thanks for the donation, friend. Super kind, my friend. Nice, nice. And not sound like a noob. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Excellent. Excellent questions. How long have you owned the Gibson? I've owned this one maybe for like 5 years now, but I've had Gibsons on and off for many years. And I have a Les Paul as well, which I love. I love that one. What would you recommend to learn the bluegrass style? Larry, I've got a course on bluegrass inside of UGS. So if you're in UGS already, just search bluegrass and it'll get you to it. Now, I'm not some great bluegrass player, but I do teach a few techniques out of there to just get you kind of started with it. Do I have a bluegrass series? I'm pretty sure I do. I know I have bluegrass lessons in there, but again, I'm not some great bluegrass guy. So if you really truly want to learn bluegrass, go to someone who teaches bluegrass. That said, I guarantee you that I could, as I say, I could probably teach a lot of people a lot of different styles that I'm not proficient at. I could probably get you a couple years into it because they're based off of the basics, right? Everything's based off of the basics. So once you understand that, then what I would always do with a student is if they were really wanted to learn jazz, I would bring them as far as I could without me studying further in it, or maybe I would study further in it for myself and for them. And then I would hand them off to an instructor who was really versed at jazz. Okay, make sense? In fact, for Unstoppable Guitar System, we are going to get Chip Henderson in, who is a professor here at some of the local colleges and an amazing jazz player. This guy is amazing. Why not have somebody like that come in to teach it instead of me? This guy knows exactly what he's doing. I had RJ Ronquillo come in and teach on slide because he can kick my ass at slide, right? And just about everything else on guitar, but that's another story. He's an amazing player. But he's excellent at slide, so why not have him come in and teach slide? Does that make sense? What is the most unusual or rare guitar you've ever played? The most unusual or rare guitar that I've ever played is I actually played one of Gibson's first guitars that he ever made. It was the first 7 guitars that Mr. Gibson ever made, and I played one of those. I have a video for it somewhere on the webs. But that was definitely the oldest, the most unusual, rarest guitar I've ever played. It was ridiculous. It didn't play very well, right? It was like a prototype, but it was one of the first guitars ever. And I think it might have been a solid piece of wood, like the neck and the body. It was crazy. I just remember that it was so unique. Yeah. Okay, that is the most unusual or rare guitar video I've ever played. Tony Polcastro is good for bluegrass. Oh, beautiful. Okay, I don't know that. I didn't know that. Nice. Okay, Jim, thanks for the donation, friend. Look at this. What is this? A hippo with like some wheels, and he's like, I'm going forward, man. I'm unstoppable. I love it. Beautiful. Thank you, Jim. Howard Jackson guitars. It depends. They've got a cheap version and they have a more expensive version. And I've had both. I've had their expensive versions. I've had their more affordable versions. And obviously, the more affordable versions don't play as well. As a rule, PRS guitars, again, same thing. They have cheaper versions and they have really good versions. Even their cheaper versions are pretty good, though. PRS makes an excellent guitar. I'm just not a PRS guy, but I love them. What's my first video? I think my first video was I was playing some heavy metal, and I was playing maybe a guitar solo or just something. I just turned on the camera and recorded it and threw it up to YouTube because I knew no one would probably ever watch it except for a couple of my friends, and so I did that. And that video is probably still out there somewhere. Have I ever played cigar box guitars? Yes, I have one. I have one, but I don't play it much. I need to learn it, but I don't play it much. I noodle with it sometimes. Have I ever played EVH Wolfgang? I haven't. Oh, man, I have played them. They are great guitars. I have an EVH, just a straight up EVH. In fact, I'm going to go to the office and pick that up today because I have plans to do something really special for you guys. And the EVH Wolfgang is an amazing guitar. Friends, in about 6 minutes, in fact, we're going to stay live. I'm going to go a little bit extra longer with you here, and then we're going to go into our premiere video at 1:15. I'm going to make sure that I take a little bathroom break, but we're going to send you over to that video here as this video is ending here. We're going to send you over there, and then we're going to jump in the chat. I want you guys to watch this video today, okay? So one of my gang here will drop that link in here, and you can open it up another tab, and then when we end this video, boom, head over there. We'll all be in there together. We'll be chatting, having a blast, and watching the video together, a premiere, just like they would do in the movie theater, but it's in the privacy of our home. We can talk and chat, and you can throw popcorn and all the rest. It'll be super fun, okay? Eric, isn't it true Leo Fender was an engineer and didn't really play guitar? Yeah, I think that's right, Jim. I don't think he played much guitar, but I think he probably played a little bit, but yeah, oftentimes that is the case. Bart, I don't know anything about Dean Zielinski guitars. I don't. Is there such a thing as an amp for an acoustic versus an electric guitar? There is. There is an acoustic amplifier that you can purchase out there. I don't know why you would want to do that because they're real expensive. So in acoustic guitar, you can hear without an amp, but I suppose if you were singing so loud that you needed one. A lot of people, they go out and they get that, and I say, well, why did you get that? And they're like, I thought I needed one. Well, you don't. You have an acoustic guitar and it sings itself, so you don't really need one. You might use one, though, if you had a really loud voice, or if you were, I don't know, if you had a PA, you just plug it into the PA. That's your amplifier. That's why, to me, acoustic amps don't make a whole lot of sense, but they might, for you. So I just started playing 3 weeks ago, and I was wondering, is your blues pack start at a beginner level? Christopher, yes, it is. But what I would highly suggest you do first is go through the free series I'm giving you today. I mean, you can get into the blues and totally start there. That's fine, but there's some bits in there that you probably should understand first. So I highly implore you to go through the free course that I'm giving you today. The second link below, you'll have access to both the pro and the beginner series that I'm giving you for free today here. So start with that one, at least the free series, to understand the basics about guitar picking, holding the guitar posture, all that good stuff. Some basic theory, and it will absolutely help you understand once you get into the blues section. Otherwise, if you're trying to skip steps, you're going to be really upset because you're going to think it's you that's messing up, and it's not. It's that you skipped videos, okay? You don't want to do that for sure. Okay. Okay, look, Gene's saying, I tried the blues pack without the free course. Mistake. Gene, right? Because it's just like this. It's like you're like, man, I love algebra. I love everything about it. Man, I love algebra. I love watching those guys teach algebra. But I don't want to learn arithmetic. But I don't want to learn math. I don't want to learn addition and subtraction and division. And so I just need to go straight to algebra. Well, algebra is all about multiplication and division and subtraction and addition. So if you don't understand those 4 basic principles, then when you come to algebra, you're going to be lost. So think about learning blues is the same way. It's like it's a little bit more advanced than just learning the basics of guitar, which every guitar player in the entire world has either had to do, or they skipped it and they suck because of it. Or they have holes in their playing because of it. Okay, so real important. Jim, is there a coupon code available for Lifetime UGS Pro? Jim, if you get into Unstoppable Guitar System Standard, we'll get you a coupon for UGS Pro. Yes. In fact, I think if you sign up for Standard, there's an option there to where you can get a discount, like right out of the gate. Jason can answer that one further, okay? He has more of his finger on the pulse of that than I do. I'm trying to keep my mind on teaching you here, but yes, there is a way, Rick, for you to get that at a discounted rate. Yes, a coupon. Yep. Yay, the reason to quit guitar video is monumental. Beautiful, Mark. Thank you so much. Thank you for saying that, Mark. I want you guys to see this. Hang in there, okay? Because we're going to do it here in just a minute. We're going to be sending folks over there, okay? But I really want to help you out here, so we might as well. I just need to use the restroom before I actually watch that video. But in the meantime, I'm going to get to your questions here, okay? Oh, thank you, Rob. Pro is already priced too low. Just buy the Lifetime. Yeah, when we just started with this thing in 2012, it was $400, and we had 100 and I don't know, maybe 100 or 200 videos in there. Now with 365, there's over 1,000 videos in there. There's over 600 jam tracks. I mean, you'll never get through it all. It's literally so much content for you, but it's step by step. It's not like you're going to get lost. I have videos that guide you through everything. And it's literally like having a lifetime of lessons from me. If you were to take one-on-one lessons from me, you literally could get into UGS Pro today for what it would cost to take a lesson with me, a one-on-one lesson with me for an hour and a half. And you're going to learn 1,000 times more in that course than you would sitting with me for an hour and a half. It'd be fun to sit with me for an hour and a half. I'd like to meet with you and chat with you and stuff. But even if you were just solid focused for an hour and a half, there's no way I'm going to get a fraction of what I could get to you inside that program at your own pace, at your own time, in your own home. You know what I'm saying? Yes, for real. Emmy is in the new video. Emmy's in the new video. Mike's in the new video. Josh is in the new video. The whole gang is in there. The only person who's not in there is Jason. But Jason's in Florida. But Jason was there in spirit. Okay. Where are the links on an iPad? Judy, in the same place, underneath the video. You probably need to click on an arrow or something like that, but it's underneath the video always. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Emmy's putting that up on. But I think Judy may be looking for a link to get into UGS would be my guess. Yeah, it's underneath that video. Okay. A ghost of Jason. Yes, he's there in spirit. Faux show. Arpeggios are difficult fit in while playing to me. It just don't sponge right. I'm not sure what that means. But here's the answer. Practice. It literally is always the answer. Okay? But it's good to know how to practice, right? It's really good to know how to practice, and that's what I show you in these videos, right? Gerald is saying, good, some of these guys will be able to stop wasting their time. Indeed, yes. I'm going to show you all the reasons why you should stop playing guitar in just a moment here. We're going to watch that video. And if you're like, but Eric, you always say don't quit guitar, it's just a matter of practice. I know I said that at one point, but watch this video, because there's at least one reason to not play guitar that's a legitimate reason, okay? But you're going to have to look for it in the video. But there is at least one legitimate reason, if I remember. There may be more than one, but I know there's at least one, and it's a totally legit reason as to why not to, okay? You may fall into it, you may not. Where are the jam tracks? I'm on Pro now, but I haven't explored properly yet. Daniela, watch the welcome video, but it's in the resources section, which is the far right tab. But watch the welcome video, because if you look for the resources tab and it's not there, you're gonna see like, well, where's the resources tab? Because you haven't watched the welcome video, you may not know how to get to the resources tab. Click on the resources tab. Underneath that, it says jam tracks. You click on that, and then boom, it opens up, and you have 600 some odd jam tracks. Jazz, reggae, I think might have some country in there. We definitely have lots of blues because I love blues. Yeah. Okay. Gerald's saying, was not much fun making that video. It was so fun making that video. We had a blast doing it, and we're gonna do more stuff like that. We just love that. It's really a lot of fun doing that. Okay. Okay, any last questions here? Let's dig into it, friends. I want to get your questions answered, and if I've missed it, I apologize, but here I want to do it, you know? I've often been asked to quit playing guitar. Does that count? No, that doesn't count, because everybody sounds like crap at first. Eddie Van Halen sounded like crap. Eric Clapton sounded like crap. Slash sounded like crap. Every guitar player sounded bad in the beginning. No one sounded good, okay? You guys have to one day believe me on this. And then they practiced, and then they got a little bit better. They practiced, and they got a little bit better. And they practiced, and they got pretty good. And they practiced, and they got excellent, okay? It's all a matter of how much time did you invest in your own, in yourself, okay? Does that make sense? All right. Yeah, great. All right, any last questions, friends? I want to get this for you, okay? What's a good way to meet people and jam with? That's a great question, Sean. A great thing to do to jam is you can do this online, right? Jam Kazam is one thing that you could use, Jamkazam. I don't like jamming like that because that's further away, right? Yes, these are my wife's awards in the back here for her songwriting. She's an amazing songwriter. For me, I'm just saying this for me. I don't like, you know, if I tell somebody to look on Craigslist and then they, you know, they have a bad experience on Craigslist. It's not Craigslist. It's just that there are some weirdos sometimes, right? I've had great luck with Craigslist. But then again, at this point in my life, 50 years into it, I'm a better judge of character than I used to be. So I'll call BS on somebody right away if I think that they're no good. I don't have the time for that. But Craigslist is a great place to go, for me, at least. I found great bands there, of people to jam with and what have you. There's also, back in the day, there was Musicians Junction. I don't know if that exists anymore, but Craigslist, for me, has always been a great place to go to find folks like that, you know? Okay, let's do this, folks. Let's finish up here. I got a few last things I want to tell you here, and then we're going to head over to that other video, okay? First off, if you haven't already, if you've done it already, don't do it. But if you have not already, click thumbs up. Because if you hit thumbs up twice, it takes the other thumb away. So don't do that. So click thumbs up if you would, and like this video. Let's try to get it above 600 before we can get out of here, okay? Wouldn't that be cool? Let's do that. Here's the deal. We went above 700 folks today, and now with you guys liking this video, we're going to go over 600. I'm seeing it pop up right now. 580, 574, 583. It's popping up really quickly because you guys are doing this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 587. We'll get above 600 here in just a second, okay? Number one. Number two, share this video, because, friends, you know, I don't say it often, but the why it is that when you share this video and when you like the video, you're helping me out, because this is my livelihood, right? So basically, it's like going on Yelp and saying, hey, this guy makes a good knish, or a good whatever, a good pizza, whatever, okay? That's what you're doing. 596, we're almost to 600, friends. The four of you that didn't hit thumbs up, we're waiting on you. 599, there we go. Come on, 600. That one guy out there who's like, I'm not doing it. Come on, do it. You know what to do. There you go. We're at 600. Thank you. All right. So yes, by sharing this, also what you're doing is you're letting other folks know about what we're doing here. We're improving our minds. We're establishing habits. We're having a good time here as a community, and we're learning great things, right? you can apply any of this to your guitar. As I've always said, friends, there's nothing that you can't do on this guitar if you put your mind to it and if you have the resources. And I've got the resources for you. Link 1 below is the PDF walking you through these 30 days, right? The beginner section, the advanced section. I'm walking you through the beginner section of the Unstoppable Guitar System. To build a solid foundation, I give you 30-something lessons with PDFs and exercises. It's step-by-step. You can't mess up. The only way you mess up is if you quit. Literally. There's 0 ways that you can mess up. It's just if you quit. That's the only way. So if you're counting that, which I don't count that, that's not cool. Don't quit, right? Unless you watch my video and you fall under one of the reason that I mentioned that you shouldn't play guitar. Then do quit. But watch that video and then you'll know whether you fall into that category. Other than that, then you should be in UGS because I'm giving it to you for free. Same lessons if you met with me one-on-one would cost at least $1,000 for us to go through in time. At least. And I'm giving it to you for free. Plus, it has all the PDFs, right? All these PDFs that I show you, right? Like the 9 essential chords and the exercises, the exercise with the variations and diatonic harmony and the scales and the how to use a capo and like all this stuff that I'm showing to you. So much of this is in UGS standard and it's there free for you. So the second link below, get in there for free today, my friends. Just look for the one that says free. If you want to be in UGS Pro, we would love you to be in that because that's awesome and you're going to learn a ton of stuff. And in fact, before you go, friends, if you are in UGS, if you're in UGS Pro or if you're in UGS 30, say that. Say, UGS Pro, this is what I learned, or yes, this was awesome, or no, Eric's a big fat jerk, or whatever is your honest opinion. Put it in there so folks know. Or UGS 30, this taught me so much, this was amazing, oh, it was amazing. Or UGS 30, I learned how to transition my chords, whatever. Let other folks know so that they do understand that this is a legitimate thing, okay? Now, here's the deal. I'm going to use the restroom really quick because in 5 minutes, we're premiering a video on why it is that you should quit guitar. You got to watch this, friends, because you may be in that smaller percentile of people that should quit guitar. But don't make your mind up before watching the video. Otherwise, you're going to think it's the wrong thing. There is at least one reason to do this. Right now, you're going to see they might just put it up there again. Click on that link. I'm going there right now as well. I'm going to go pee real quick. I will see you guys in that video right now. In 4 minutes, it's going to premiere. Let's go there together, okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much for the donations, the amazing questions. You guys rule. I do this as much for me as I do for you because I have a blast doing it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys. See you over there in that video. I'll be chatting with you in just a minute. Bye.